The Middle East stands on the edge of open conflict driven by the bitter rivalry between Iran and Israel. For decades, these two powers have battled for influence, not over borders, but over ideology and security. Israel sees Iran's nuclear ambitions as an existential threat, fueling a relentless campaign of sabotage and cyber attacks. Iran, insisting its nuclear program is peaceful, views Israel as an aggressor and a proxy for the US. Each side accuses the other of hypocrisy and provocation, deepening mistrust. Iran has responded by building missile capabilities and supporting militant groups across the region, creating a network to strike back without direct confrontation. This shadow war, fought through intelligence, proxies, and covert operations, keeps the region in a constant state of tension. Every cyber attack or targeted killing risks spiraling into open war. The lack of transparency and clear front lines makes escalation dangerously easy. A single miscalculation could ignite a regional conflict. The events of 2025 have shown just how close the region is to disaster. The world watches, hoping the covert struggle doesn't explode into a devastating war. The stakes have never been higher. Iran's strategy relies on a network of proxies: Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, and the Houthis in Yemen. Hezbollah, armed with thousands of rockets, is Iran's most powerful ally, deterring Israel from direct attacks. In Gaza, Iranian support for Hamas and Islamic Jihad keeps Israel under constant pressure. These groups ensure Israel remains preoccupied and militarily engaged. The Houthis meanwhile disrupt shipping in the Red Sea, extending Iran's reach far beyond its borders. By empowering these proxies, Iran can strike at its enemies indirectly, complicating any response. This web of alliances makes the region volatile. An attack in one area can trigger conflict elsewhere. Iran's forward defense keeps battles away from its own territory. The result is a region where local conflicts are tied to a much larger power struggle. Every escalation risks drawing in new actors and widening the war. The balance is precarious, and the consequences of miscalculation are immense. The US remains Israel's staunchest ally, providing military aid and maintaining a major presence across the Middle East. In 2025, a series of airstrikes inside Iran, widely attributed to Israel, possibly with US intelligence, marked a turning point. The strikes targeted Iran's proxy command centers, signaling that the shadow war had become an open confrontation. Iran's response was swift. Hezbollah launched rockets at Israel, militias attacked US bases in Iraq and Syria, and the Houthis intensified Red Sea attacks. The US found itself defending Israel, protecting its own troops, and trying to prevent a wider war. American forces intercepted drones and retaliated against militias, but every action risked deeper involvement. Washington now walks a tightrope, balancing deterrence with the urgent need to de-escalate. The risk of miscalculation is ever present. The region teeters between containment and catastrophe. The world holds its breath as the crisis unfolds. Beneath the headlines, civilians pay the highest price. In Gaza, renewed fighting has devastated homes and infrastructure, leaving families trapped and aid scarce. Yemen's crisis deepens as the Houthis' focus shifts, worsening famine and blocking vital supplies. In Lebanon, clashes with Israel displace thousands, compounding economic collapse. The threat of a wider war looms. Any direct attack between Iran and Israel could draw in the US and Gulf states, with global economic fallout. Oil supplies and financial markets hang in the balance. The region's fragile stability is exposed and the suffering of ordinary people grows. Leaders talk of strategy, but it's civilians who endure the trauma and loss. Preventing escalation is not just a strategic goal. It's a humanitarian imperative. The world must act to avoid catastrophe. The cost of failure would be felt far beyond the Middle East.